online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey guys, welcome to the first Parks and Rec after show. We're gonna deem ourselves the Parks crew.
We are.
Since we're the official recappers. And we're all awesome. So happy to be here for season 7. It's the last season, so sad.
Oh my gosh.
So sad. But we'll be here all season talking about everything you wanna know. And to start off, I'm Lexie Hammesfahr, and to my left is...
Hi, I'm Katie Campbell.
And I'm Salaun.
I'm Quinn Scillian. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, so, okay, this was the funniest premiere.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so good. It's sad to me, though, that they're burning out the season, but, you know, at least we get an hour of Parks and Rec every week.
It really is bizarre. I feel like everybody I talk to, I don't really know anybody who doesn't love Parks and Rec. And when if I'm scrolling on Tumblr, there's gifs of, jokes and stuff like that. It's crazy that they're just like... cutting it short, but we're gonna give it, I think, a sweet farewell.
But seven seasons is a good solid run.
Oh, yeah.
So, sometimes when they get going a little too long, they kind of try and force things. So maybe it's the right timing.
And it's a pretty star-studded crew at this point.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I just don't want it to end, though. I really don't. I've been tearing up at every single commercial that I've been seeing in preparation for this.
The commercials have been very sweet, very heartfelt, nostalgic, great.
I know. Okay, so we've got to jam an hour of show into 30 minutes. So the show starts, and the Newport family is trying to bid off their land, and Leslie wants to do a national park. And we kind of see her and Ben discussing how she's not going to talk about someone, and he's like, Voldemort.
Can't say the name.
Exactly.
Someone she despises, apparently.
Yes.
We all thought the same thing.
Jam.
We all said it.
Jam.
And it wasn't.
And it wasn't. It was Ron.
I know.
What?
Who would ever thought we would see a falling out between Leslie and Ron?
It was so depressing.
Yeah. I want to know what Morningstar was.
Yeah, they mentioned that a lot. That Morningstar happened 2 years ago, and she doesn't want to talk about it, but they don't tell us what actually happened. And as a reminder for everybody, we are 3 years ahead of time from when last season left off. So it's 2017. So lots happened.
I have to say about that, when they first did that at the end of last season, I was like, wait.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like this yet. But of course, they have a way to do it. They roll into it. It's going to be good. It is good. So.
And Leslie looks great. I love the bangs.
Can't believe she looks
Bounced
so
back
good.
so fast from those triplets.
She's like a hot mama now.
I have to say, I was disappointed that we never got to see the kids. The whole in neither of the episodes tonight. We didn't get to see any kids. I was a little bummed. I want to see what their cute little kids running around looking like.
And we kind of talked about this throughout the episodes. Is there were a few key characters that didn't really make an appearance these 2 episodes. So it was weird. But Ron left Parks and Rec to start his own company, which was called the Very Good Building and Development Company.
Right. Yeah. Private sector.
Yes.
No more government for him.
Yeah. Finally,
which is what he wanted. And he works with Grizzle, which we kind of heard about in previous seasons, but he's working with Blake Anderson from Workaholics now. And then John Hamm comes in.
Right, who was fired in the finale last season, and Leslie's like, "What are you still doing here? I fired you last time. Get out!"
I love it. He's like, "If anyone wants to hang out, I'll be at Subway."
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
It was like the most pointless thing, but I thought it was so great that they threw John Hamm into the episode.
Awesome. I know. Who wouldn't want to be on the show? If they called anybody up, they'd be like, "Oh, be there."
Absolutely. It's such a cult following. It's awesome.
Right.
I love it. But and then we go to April, who looks so hot.
Oh my god, the dress
with this weird futuristic tablet 3D phone thing.
The Grizzle tablet.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Which they apparently gave the whole city free Grizzle tablets, cell phones, and free
there.
Wi-Fi.
Hook them up.
Honey, on the up and up.
Between that and Sweetums, it's like you've got your sugar and your technology. What else do you need?
I know.
And Andy has his own show,
Yeah.
which has to do with Johnny Karate.
Johnny Karate. He does karate with kids.
Yes.
And Jerry guest stars and then got beat up. Or Terry now.
Who's on his
Larry, Gary, whatever his name is today.
Bless his heart. He's never going to get back to that real name. And then we go to Tom's Bistro, which is still going, and now he's this huge mogul in Pawnee. Mm-hmm. And
He's got a bunch of businesses.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was named Indiana Business Monthly's 35 under 30. Or whatever it was.
35 under 35.
Yeah.
35
Sorry, 35 under 35. Yeah. And he's basically giving a speech to introduce Ben, who is getting honored in the episode for being Pawnee's Man of the Year.
Right. Right.
And it didn't end up being about Ben at all.
What a surprise.
He just ended up talking only about himself.
Yes.
And then he felt bad about it.
But it was so funny.
I know. It was very...
I knew that was going to happen, though. It's so Tom to
Yeah.
do that.
yeah.
He even said at some point, he's like, well, I'm so good at being humble, let me tell you.
But then he finally did give the speech he was gonna give about Ben, and it was like so sweet. And they were like crying all the way through it. Literal like tears like streaming down their face.
There was something I tweeted out earlier. There was a commercial about the farewell season, and it was them crying. And it was just a little clip of that scene, and I teared up for that. But when I watched it this time, I kind of laughed a little bit. I was like, this is so good.
I know. It's like, it's a bittersweet
Yeah.
thing going on. But, and Leslie basically has 36 hours to find $90 million for this bidding situation.
88 million. She had 2 million.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
had $2 million.
88 million. And she approaches the Wamapoke chief, which I forgot his name. But
I don't know, but he's been on this show forever.
Yeah.
Ken Hotante, right?
Yes.
Is that it? Nice.
I think.
But I thought that his comment basically was hilarious. Like, so you want me to donate land? Yeah.
That
That
you
I
guys-
can't keep,
the
that was
government-
stolen from me hundreds of years ago by the government, and
we
then just
still
give
can't.
it to the government.
She's like, well, when you put it that way, but what do you say? Like, are you going to give it to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. And at the banquet at the same time, Andy and April are trying to rejuvenate
Yeah,
their craziness.
Right, they feel like they've become an old married couple and they're doing predictable things like planning out their week, and they have a crock pot and all this stuff. So they're like, let's be spontaneous.
Well, it is interesting to see them like that, though, because they're not responsible adults, you know,
No.
as far as we've known them. And then all of a sudden they were.
I guess 3 years will make you grow up a little bit, though.
Yeah.
And the fact that they were babysitting, I guess, all the time. They had
Yeah.
to child-proof
Kind of.
everything.
yeah.
Got rid of the stink bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that episode or that scene ends with Leslie and Ron getting in a fight and like throwing each other into Ben's cake, and Ben's
Right.
paper mache sculpture catches on fire, and meanwhile Andy was gonna streak across the stage to kind of, you know, prove he's still
Yeah.
cool
Yeah.
and
Which
wild.
I think is funny.
And
A couple years ago, we'd have been like, "Oh, that's so funny," but now he's like so
yeah.
fit from the Guardians. We're all like,
Yeah.
"Oh, he's gonna run across naked."
Chris Pratt,
Yeah.
super
Oh,
fit lately.
don't do
yeah,
that.
Bummer.
God
then-
forbid you don't.
Yeah, but then he's just standing there in the back, blurred out like, "Oh, dang, that's freaking Leslie and Ron are upstaging me."
Classic cake gag. I love a good like face to
in
the
the
cake.
cake.
I will always love that.
Noted.
So April and Andy, I guess then this is the next day, are driving in the car, and they come across this old house that's up for sale. And okay, honestly, to me, it kind of looked like the house from Up.
Did
I don't know why, but it was kind of haunted, or
Just
it looked
a haunted
haunted.
And like
version.
decrepit.
Yeah, like creepy
Yeah.
and run down. So they go inside and they start looking, and basically the house is built in this really bizarre way. And they find out that it was where they hold people who go insane after working in this old doll factory.
Yeah, doll head factory.
Doll-
Yeah, and even creepier.
Werner Herzog.
Yeah,
who was
yeah.
the guy who lived there. We got a nice little
Yeah,
cameo from
such a
him.
good
and
bad
it was
guy.
so creepy and funny.
I love that he was leaning against the door in one scene when they were talking about, we're going to buy this house. He's just like leaning against the door. Just like standing there, so creepy.
And you're just like, oh,
And then
great,
he's like-
no kitchen, stairs that lead to nowhere.
Yeah.
Fire pole.
Yeah, you can
Perfect house for us.
Yeah, Andy and April's faces are just lighting up. They're like, oh, this is perfect. So creepy,
funny.
so weird. Let's move here now.
And then they made out.
Yeah. And he's just still awkwardly standing there.
It didn't even faze him.
No.
So I think that'll be a nice little addition for them to kind of rejuvenate their lives. That seemed like it was what they needed.
Yeah.
To like get back together and everything. And so Tom goes back in, like you were saying, and introduces to, or reads to Ben the speech that he was going to do, and they both start crying. And Leslie goes and she's in the bidding war. And she was going to give, what, $3.2 million or something?
Yeah.
And then decides last minute that she's not going to bid anything.
Because the Newports already have, like, more money than anyone.
Yeah.
So, like, she's just kind of hoping that, like, out of the grace of her heart, like, Mrs. Newport will, you know, give the government this land so they can preserve it and turn it into, like, a beautiful national
for a good
park.
cause.
Yeah, and she's like, and it's going to be the Newport, you know, National Park or whatever. So, hopefully that would be enough to, you know, let her forget the $90 million.
I feel like it could if she plays her cards right and showing her why this would be a good idea and how, like, she would live on for a long time. I think that could probably sell her on doing it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they were watching the news and it's like, it's down to just, you know, her or Grizzle. So it must have worked pretty well.
Yeah, and during the pitch, Jessica's like, oh, I love everything about what you're saying. And then she was like, wait, so how much were you going to give us again? She's like, $0. She's
I
like,
love everything.
Oh, yeah, that was what I didn't like.
That's what I didn't like. Right.
Yeah, so, but you know, Leslie she was so manipulative in that part that I think that she could probably win it over, or I feel like Ron might back down in the end.
Yeah.
I saw a little glimpse of that when they had that moment at the end of the second episode.
Right.
So that could possibly happen.
So it's like, I think they still care for each other.
Oh, yeah. He could never, you know, get over how charming she, even though he, like, hates
Yeah.
everything she stands for, he just loves her.
Her quirks.
Her quirks, and she's so sweet.
I'm curious to see if they'll have this go the whole season, have this kind of tension go on, and then it all resolves in the end, and the land becomes a national park, or what'll go on, or if that'll resolve quickly and then something else will come up, or
It'll be interesting to see how they wrap up the whole series.
Yeah.
You know, and bring it to a close.
It's interesting because, I mean, if they did have, you know, Grizzle in Pawnee, that's bringing so much money. So I'm wondering if maybe there's, like, a compromise. Like, we can do, like, a little Grizzle headquarters, and then the rest can be the national, I don't know, something like that. Nice compromise.
But it's, like, kind of rocky ground because Ron has promised Tom a spot to build a restaurant, and then Donna's doing the real estate on it.
Yeah.
So it's like the old Parks crew is kind of pulled apart in this deal between Leslie and Ron.
Yeah, it's like Jerry, April, Leslie, and Andy versus Ron, Donna, Tom, and Grizzle.
It's war, but, like, the cutest war ever.
War with
when
cookies
she brought
and bars.
Yeah, she brought in cookies to everyone but Ron, and it said, what was it? Prepare for war, but the O was a heart.
I love when Andy was like, and I ate some of these cookies on the way because war.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, hey, Tom, great to see you.
Oh,
Donna. That was so cute. But then Ron ate the cookie, and I was like, yes.
Yeah. Small victories.
Ron. So that was the first episode.
Yeah.
Moving on to the second, Leslie is trying to convince the one deciding vote in a split, I guess, jury.
Yeah.
For council, something.
Whoever's
Yeah,
deciding.
board. And that vote, of course, naturally, is Jam.
Jeremy Jam.
Jam, good old Jam. Jam does not look like Jam.
No.
That opening scene, though, was hilarious. He's like, Nope, I just farted.
She's like, I wish I didn't.
No.
But we all at the same time were like, his hair is weird.
He
Like,
looks weird.
he looks like Ron.
He's got a mustache.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
And then
course.
Tammy.
Enters Tammy too.
I love it.
Oh, God.
I love to see her back, though.
I know. She does such a good job.
I mean, she just commits. And did she ever in this episode? Oh my God. Megan Mullally.
yeah.
Good for her, though.
Oh, it was so good.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
So they
was awesome.
They met at karaoke when Jam sang Gangsta's Paradise, which I would love if we could see that somehow, some sort of reenactment
Outtake,
of
yeah.
that or outtake. That would be pretty hilarious.
Yeah. I don't know. That was so funny. She was like, what? No.
Dear God, why?
Yeah. And so Leslie realizes that she can probably pit Tammy against Ron and convince Jam to swing to her side.
I knew what was going to happen, though.
Did you?
Yeah, because she just always wants Ron, and she wants, she just always trying to get him, win him back with her sexual things and
beautiful cleavage.
Yes. And so I just thought, oh, this is going to be an opportunity for her to be on Ron's side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do something.
And then we go to Joan.
Who's just hit rock bottom.
Yeah, and Ben was basically going through her rider, which she requested a bottle of Chateau Marmont wine.
So funny.
Ben was like, that's
actually a hotel/club down in LA. It's not a wine brand.
So that doesn't exist, right?
And we got a little flashback of like what Joan's been up to. And apparently she hosted a TV show from rehab.
Yeah, wrote her 7th, 8th, 9th memoir.
Autobiography.
Yeah.
And then we also saw like a little clip from a show that she was doing where she called ex-boyfriends from on top of the dryer or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or washing machine.
Awkward.
She offered a car to everyone.
In her
And literally
audience.
one car.
One car for everyone in the
Car.
audience. And
They
then
had
made
to
him fight
fight.
over it.
I think the funniest part was in her speech, she introduced her. She was like, "Thank you to the people of Gotham."
Oh my god.
She thinks she's in Batman.
And then America should have a
Hammesfahr.
purge night.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
What is
that?
why is she like that though?
I think she's just even
Prescription
crazier than
drugs,
before.
Yeah. Percocet.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Wine, lots of wine.
What was it during
Spritzers.
in last in I think it was the season finale? She was talking about like, oh, I'll have the Joan, which is just a tumbler of gin with antidepressants, like or no, with like
Aspirin or something?
yeah, aspirin crushed
yeah.
on the top. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then Tom wants to find someone,
Yeah.
and the fourth proposal in his restaurant happened, and he says to Andy that he's like tired of being a bachelor, and so they go on Grizzle Book,
Right.
or whatever the actual whatever it's called. It's Facebook basically,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was kind of weird.
And wait, did Lucy reach out to him or did he
Yes.
reach out
Yeah.
to Lucy?
So.
Got it.
Oh my
think she
god, that
messaged
was
him.
hilarious when they were drunk and Andy's like, or this girl, and he's like, that's my dad. Sorry, I'm drunk. Like,
Because all the booze is free.
Yeah.
Well, not free for Tom.
And then they wake up the next day and they're in Chicago.
Right.
Yeah, so they got in a cab and wake up and their bill's like $850 and they're in Chicago.
And I love that they get out of the cab and who do we see right away? Lucy. Just walking around the streets of Chicago.
Yeah.
They wonder if they dropped a pin.
Yeah. And Tom's like tripping over his words, and so Andy's like, I'm taking a new job here.
It was a great lie.
Surprisingly, Andy pulled that off pretty
Yeah.
smoothly. Normally, like,
So
you know,
smooth.
when he's Burt Macklin or doing anything else, he cannot lie to save his butt, but there he did it. Until he said,
convinced himself.
Yeah.
right, until he said,
That was the best part. I know.
he's like, oh yeah, I took a job coaching the Chicago Bears. And that's when you're like, or no, the Chicago Bulls basketball.
Yeah.
And you're like,
we
oh,
almost
dang, so close.
And then when Tom corrected him, no, it's something to do with the nonprofit. Really? Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like he was
Dang
like,
it.
wow. No, oh my god, he convinced himself though. That's the funniest thing.
Oh no.
So they rekindled like a little bit of a spark. It seemed like Tom and Lucy.
Yeah, I think they
Walking
did.
around. They always really got along really well. And so he's like, great, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
Bless his heart. And then and when I loved when they were walking on the pier later, and Andy was like, "Oh, I'm just really starting to miss Pawnee. Like, I don't know if I should stay."
Yeah, he's in a predicament.
Yeah, it's funny.
Because he's gonna be the head coach of the Bulls.
Yeah. So now April is she didn't really actually say what her full job title was. But
She doesn't
it's
even know.
the executive director of regional whatever.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Right.
And she thinks that her insides are dying and she wants to go live under a bridge. And Ben offers to help her go like find a new job.
Yeah, she's feeling kind of like in a job career crisis, and she was like, you know what Joan said, that you really need to love what you do and have a true passion about it. And she's like, I don't know if I like this. Like, what am I doing? This started as a stupid internship.
8 years later.
Yeah.
What did you want to do when you were 10?
Right.
And Nat, of course, she wanted to work in a mortuary.
Yeah, be a mortician or something.
Gosh.
Which is perfecally fitting.
I also love that we're taking life advice from Joan Kalamazoo.
Yeah.
Just go find your passion.
I know.
America needs a purge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
They were making fun of her, but then they took that advice. Like,
Right.
let's
Yeah.
just try this out and see.
But Ben was so funny in that scene. He was freaking out. He was like, I don't like death.
Yeah, he's in there. He's like, oh gosh, get me out of here. I'm cold.
And she didn't want to be.
My body's cold.
She found out that being a mortician is just as much paperwork as working for the government. Everything is paperwork, and so she's back to square one.
You work your way to the top somewhere in every single job, and she doesn't want that.
Right.
I wonder what happened with all the adoption stuff that she did with pets, though.
Yeah, because
that was her
she was doing the
passion.
and she was in charge of like the kind of the. What were the guys who go and get all the raccoons and
Oh,
stuff?
the animal control.
The animal control.
Yeah.
And that's why I thought she was going to be kind of doing something more like that. I was surprised to see her kind of back in a more office-y setting, I guess.
Yeah, she was like, I don't know, she was very formal this episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Jam and Leslie go to dinner. And he's like, I'm only allowed to eat steak and drink whiskey.
Yeah, and that Tammy does a stool sample to make sure every day.
My gosh.
Disgusting.
She's basically forcing him to clone Ron.
Yeah.
Which is so weird and creepy.
She's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's what makes it hilarious.
And Jam has a breakdown.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm depressed and I'm sick, but it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I've never been better, but yeah.
Yeah.
And so Leslie decides to call a truce and go see Ron because he's clearly the only one who can fix Jam.
He's had to recover from a couple Tammy kind of
incidents.
I
he's
love
had,
those episodes.
The best.
He kind of knows exactly what to do to get Jam out of this jam.
Tammy
Was
jam?
I really just gonna say that?
Out of the jammy.
Yeah. And so they go to Ron's cabin, which I guess is still there, and employ the Pavlovian technique, among others.
A few other things. Yeah.
But the Pavlovian technique is where he brings out the bottle of Tammy's perfume, which is Girth, appropriately named.
Yeah. And spray, smack.
Yeah, and if he does anything Tammy related, like, shows weakness when they spray it, like, says, oh, Tammy.
She wanted to get rid of the whole bottle.
Yeah. Whole bottle. Drain the whole bottle.
And then they're like, okay, and they had Leslie pretending to be Tammy. And they must have had Megan's doing the voiceover for that.
I think that was Amy.
I think it was Amy doing
She's so good at impressions. I think that's her job.
You're right. It was crazy. It
was
scary
so good.
Scary good.
Yeah.
And she was like hiding in the armoire. And Ron's like, you forgot to check your armoire.
Yeah, they're testing him.
Yeah, she lasted 6 days in my attic eating only
rats
and rainwater.
And he had, what was it, the crotch helmet on?
The
crotch
blinders.
blinders.
Crotch blinders.
Yeah.
He's like, well, when Tammy does this in real life, she'll be naked. So
Tried and
you
tested.
have to wear this to practice.
And then when they finally had the showdown.
In the library.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
but
course.
it's so funny because no one stopped her from what she did, that it just shows like everybody knows Tammy in
Yeah.
the library. Everybody's like that little family, and she's just crazy, and they let her go on with it.
Well, isn't she in charge of the libraries also?
Right.
Yeah. But nobody stops her anyway
Oh my gosh.
from getting completely.
Yeah, they're like,
so-
you just need to be a little quiet.
Yeah, so Jam says it's over, breaks up with her, and she, which Ron warned against. He said she will try at anything. If you haven't, she hasn't.
She will strip.
Because they hadn't ever actually had sex. So he's like, that's
or in a while or something.
No,
Yeah.
not
no,
at all.
never.
Not
She
at
was
all.
never done the deed.
Her one final, kind of
her
playing that
last
she
trick.
could. Yeah, her last trick if she knew that he was gonna kind of like go, kind of break up with her or whatever, and so she just strips.
Yeah,
Full-blown
Full-blown nudity.
So each episode so far has had nudity.
Yeah,
in it,
we've
which
had-
is great.
Is this going to be a theme?
Yeah,
Can it just all
everybody
be Chris Pratt,
at
though?
some.
Yeah.
John Hamm, he could come
Or
back
John
and do some
Hamm.
of those
John
scenes.
Hamm.
I
Or
feel
Rob
like
Lowe.
he's going to come back and just randomly
keep doing
be
that.
like, oh, he's working there still. And she's like, what are you doing here? I fired you.
yeah.
That's
Keep
gonna be a
bursting
thing.
in. Like,
hope
oh, here's
so.
that memo.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I know.
It's funny because he is like a little bit like Chris. He's like, okay, well, it's fine.
yeah.
It's no big
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
literally the coolest thing I have ever heard.
Yeah.
I miss his literallys, though.
I know.
That was such a good thing every single episode. I'm literally so happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then Tom invites Lucy or asks her, I guess, to come back and be his manager
Right.
at the bistro, and she's like, yeah, that would be good. Let me just ask my boyfriend.
And there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just see like all the wind kind of
Yeah.
go out of Tom.
I know. I don't know. I still have hope for them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're going to
It'll
fall in
pay
love.
off.
But like,
Yeah.
where was her boyfriend? I want to see who this is.
Yeah, we got to see who
Right.
Tom's
Ooh, I
up
bet
against.
it's gonna be someone.
Did he go along?
What if it's John Offio?
John. Ooh. burn.
Oh, and like he hasn't seen her boyfriend yet. Oh my gosh, it's totally John Ralphie.
That would be
Good prediction.
So good.
There's my prediction. That would be so bad.
Oh man.
So then we go back and April and Ben. April's just like really deflated still. And she asks Ben why he's being so nice to her. And he's just like, well, you know, you're one of my friends and I want to help you. And she hugs him.
Yeah. Well, she's like, you're not my friend. We're not friends.
Yeah,
and then
right.
gets up and on her way out.
A rare
gives him a
moment
hug.
of tenderness from April.
She has those every now
and then.
Yeah.
She does.
And he says, like, oh my gosh, you're acting so strange right now. And I'm just going to put this out there. What if she's pregnant, guys? Ooh. We'll see.
Yeah,
Because that would be kind of a fun, crazy thing for her and Andy to do. I mean,
Yeah, definitely, like, solidifies them into that adult needing to be responsible
Yeah.
thing. But they'll go into their creepy doll crazy house and have their
creepy, crazy kids.
baby.
Either that or
haunted
it's
house.
Saturn's return, as
Right.
Donna says.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever that meant.
Yeah, I didn't really understand.
Yeah.
It's like you have a little
Planet,
midlife crisis, quarter-life
stars
crisis
aligning.
thing,
Yeah.
right?
Okay. So
Go back
eventually.
29 years or something.
All right.
All right, Donna.
Astrology.
Okay, Donna.
Okay, Donna. So Jam finally is back to himself, and he miraculously grew tons of facial hair overnight.
Yeah.
And says that he can't choose sides.
Because they're his best friends.
Yes.
Which is hilarious because they've always been the people he hates the most, and that's why he's never voted for one of them when they have opposing sides, and then now he can't vote because they're best friends.
So
And because they basically saved him.
Yeah.
So trying to save him and doing all this stuff with Tammy was for no reason at all because he can't even vote. So now it's still down to 2-2, I suppose.
And we see like Leslie and Ron again.
Yeah.
There's
A glimpse of them becoming friends again, but then
They compliment each other, yeah.
Yeah, then they're still beefing.
She's like, I'm still gonna destroy you.
yeah.
So, yeah. And that's and then it ends on Lucy and Tom at the restaurant.
Just kind of hanging out.
So I guess that means she permanently moved back, or is she just visiting?
Testing it out, we'll see.
Yeah.
I would say that means that she's probably back.
Yeah.
And Andy was like, "This is just the perfect situation. It's going great."
And he meant because someone left spaghetti.
Yes, leftover spaghetti, which he then drops on the ground. It's like, oh, 5-second rule.
I know.
I love him so much.
Yeah. So that was the season premiere.
Premieres.
Yeah. Premieres.
Double
multiple?
premiere?
Yeah.
What do you
Is
call
that
it?
what that is?
I don't know. It was great though.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. Did you have any tweets that you want to talk about? News and gossip?
Oh yeah, people really seemed like people were really loving the show, but also just like a lot of people being so sad that it's going to be over soon. That's what a lot of what I'm seeing is people just being like, I'm happy it's on, but sad that it's on, but happy, you know. One of my favorite tweets that I saw, I screen capped it.
It really is just such a cult following. I mean, I feel like everyone's we've gone through almost a decade with this whole group.
Yeah.
And Chris Pratt, he wasn't even an original cast member.
Right.
Where would we be in the show without him
I
on
know,
there?
I
kept
know.
him on.
I love this
My
one.
favorite part.
At Tokyo Jutsu says, Parks and Rec, why you gotta do me like that? So many things have changed. Which is true, you know, being like 3 years in the future, it is a little odd, but I don't feel like, you know, actually, yeah, I guess a lot of things did change. Kind of things getting shaken up a little bit.
But it also, from a structural standpoint, allows them to have a lot of material to work with because they can fill in all those gaps and everything that's happened in the last 3 years. So that's fun for us to watch and probably
fill in
easier
the
on their
pieces.
end. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I also got, I've been waiting forever for the new Parks and Rec season, and somehow I missed it today. I pulled a Jerry, Larry, Terry.
I love that. You guys remember when he carved the initials into Chris's buddy box and was like, he's like, wait, who's, and then all the letters like Gary, Jerry, Larry, Gergich, Gingrich.
Gingrich, but
Do you guys remember when Jerry got his table confused with Newt Gingrich?
oh,
I love when we get the political cameos.
oh yeah,
Yeah, we got Michelle Obama.
Michelle Obama. Yeah, Leslie's like,
That was so funny.
So
She
great.
lost her mind. Okay, so what do we think, real quick, is going to happen next week?
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
ooh, zing. Ooh.
I don't know.
More beefing, definitely, between Ron and Leslie. I think there's got to be some more kind of punches thrown, metaphorically speaking, of course. But they've got to keep that kind of tension going.
I think it'll last for a little bit, but not for the whole time, and not too long. I think they're gonna join sides. I was watching the Today Show today, and they did a little behind the scenes and interviewed Amy Poehler, and she was talking about how this last season is kind of Avengers Assemble, and they have one last big project. So I thought like I was gonna see more of everybody together. Yeah. Now we have like two sides. So I feel like at one point it's gonna join the same side.
I think they're just teasing us, like breaking our hearts a little bit in the beginning, and then it all.
And I also read that Ann and Chris are going to be coming back for at least one episode.
Yeah, nice. I can't wait for that. And that's going to be so fun.
I heard that they're trying to bring in as many of the people who make cameos throughout the entire series into this final season.
I would hope.
Oh, we're definitely going to see a lot of cameos, for sure. I'm wondering, we're going to get a big reveal of some kind, and I'm kind of wondering if that's going to be a pregnancy or if people are going to be moving, whatever's going to happen. I'm kind of interested to see what kind of big life changes are going to start happening with everybody.
I can't wait to see what the triplets look like.
That's what I was just going to say.
I know.
See those little kids.
I want to know what they look like. We got 2 boys and a girl, right? That's what it looked like in the last. They kind of had them in for just like a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
At the end of last season. So
yeah, I think it'll be great, though.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so where can we find you? Where can everyone find you?
You guys can follow me on Twitter at Quinn Scillian, and also on Vine if you want to, the Quinn Bee.
And I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Lauren Salaun.
You can find me on Instagram at Katie Campbell 13 and Twitter at Katie Campbell. That's Katie with 3 E's.
And you can find me on all social media at Lexie Hammesfahr. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in to this first recap of Parks and Rec with the Parks crew.
Parks crew.
We'll be back next week, bringing you all the laughs. So have a great rest of the week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.